Has Coca-Cola met its match with a viral video? Well, kind of. So, Coca-Cola is actually reporting that sales have declined in North America by 3% in the most recent quarter. Now, you may be wondering, is this customers just not buying Coke because they can't afford it, or is it something else? Well, according to some analysts, this is actually due to a false viral video. So, what happened was back in the beginning of February, okay, it was on February 8th. A video was posted on Threads, which I believe is part of Facebook, and it had a caption saying Coca-Cola is reporting its own Latin workers to ICE. Boycott Coca-Cola. Okay. There was another post that says Coca-Cola preaches diversity, but sells out its own workers to ICE. Okay. Now, apparently this thing went viral, got shared a gazillion times. I personally have not. I've seen stills of the video, but it didn't ever come up on my feed.
Right.
But I believe it was February 13th that Reuters actually did a kind of like Snopes, like a fact check on it. Come to find out, there's absolutely no evidence anywhere in the US that A, Coca-Cola ever did anything like this, and B, that the people that were posting these videos, it was all either doctored imagery, because it wasn't really showing anything. It was just like video of a man like unloading a Coke truck. There was nothing to back it up. And so basically they're saying that even though Coca-Cola has had an 8% price increase across its water, sports drinks, coffee, and tea category, overall sales in North America have declined 4%. That's by monetary value.
I mean,
overall volume, it's gone down 3%, which to you and I, 3 or 4% doesn't sound like much, but when you're talking about a company like Coca-Cola, ginormous amounts. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I get that videos go viral and you can't always control it. And a lot of times they have bad information, which is why it goes viral. Because for every person that's sharing it that believes it, somebody's sharing it and going, can you believe this crap? This isn't true. And you know what I mean? It's like a 50-50 shot. The part that kind of makes this humorous to me is Coca-Cola's response. Okay. So Coca-Cola believes that its Share a Coke campaign, which just relaunched this month, will drive continued sales this summer among Gen Z and multicultural consumers. And the soda giant is really playing up the fact that it produces sodas locally. So they came out and said the video is a fake, it's not real, So I get that you can't really do much more than that. But so instead, they're trying to kind of twist the narrative by saying, hey, Coca-Cola is produced locally. It's not an imported item. It doesn't have tariffs. And honestly, I've actually seen quite a few commercials, even car commercials, that mentions no tariffs at all, because that has now become a marketing buzzword. Whenever you have something that has a bad connotation, companies are going to use it to their advantage for you to go, trust me, because we don't do that stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
But the fact that this video went viral, even though there was nothing backing it up, and once something goes viral, you can't really stop it. It has to play its course. Right. But this also goes to show so much of the information that you see online, A, it's not true. B, doing a simple Google search and not being able to find anything on it should be simple enough to prove it. But how many people are seeing information online, doing their own type of independent fact checking, or else are they just sharing it and it just continues and continues and nobody's stopping going, wait, is this even true?
That part. So I think a lot of times when people see something like this and say they are a trash human being and decide that this is what they're supporting is, get them at work. Like, that supports a view that they have already. And so it reinforces. So true or not, doesn't matter. I'm going to send this on because it validates how I'm feeling on the inside. So we've lost a lot of our ability to really discern what's real whether that's from AI or staging or over sensationalizing. Like all of those things play a part. And that sometimes can override that part of your brain that, I don't know, some people I don't even think clicks on anymore to go, hey, is this true? This looks a little fishy. Let me look into this. But this looks fishy, but I bet it's accurate. Let's just send it off into the universe.
Well, it reminds me years ago where, people are like, well, I saw it on Facebook, so it has to be true.
Sorry, that's
And
an involuntary face thing that
it
happened.
is.
I'm sorry.
I would say that so many people are stuck in this doom scroll that first they would have to get off of the platform to go research.
Yep.
And then they would have to research more than just the headline. They'd actually have to click something and read the article. And it's like, oh, wait, that takes too much effort. Whereas just sharing it, putting a mad emoji, and, I'll call it good. I did it. Well, my aunt shared it, so it must be true. She would look it up. You know what I mean? It's like,
she's 90 and she asked her cat, you're like, Jimmy, do you believe this? And Jimmy's like, meow. And she shared it on. Like,
well, and plus, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's like a ton of different companies that are being boycotted right now for all kinds of different, I can't even keep all of the reasons straight. Like a lot of them are being, for the same kind of thing, the diversity type thing. Like so many companies roll back their diversity programs and now people are wanting to boycott them. Some of them are wanting to boycott. I saw that they were wanting to boycott Walmart because Walmart was making a deal with its foreign companies that they import goods from, that they wanted them to pay the tariffs because they didn't want to pass on the cost. And people are boycotting them because they don't want to raise prices for consumers. Like, I don't understand that one.
I think I can kind of see where that comes from, just because in a lot of cases, foreign entities that they're importing goods from are already paying next to nothing in wages. And so, like, it gets kind of wishy-washy,
but it makes
right?
sense for then foreign entities to boycott Walmart, not for Americans to, you know what I mean?
No,
It's like,
no. I get that. No, that makes sense. I can see the original intent behind the tariffs is, yes, we would like for the other countries to pay for their access to selling their goods in the States. Because let's face it, we're a massively consumeristic country. Like, just give it to me, stuff it in my face, put it in my pockets, hang it in my house, all the things, right? So, like, in a way, yeah, it's kind of a pay to play. But I think we've gotten so used to like cheap goods that it's no longer like, none of it's ethical.
no.
Like, no human rights are really kind of taken into account when you're in a consumeristic society as we are.
Well, and I can tell you right now that the US is number one in advertising. And I don't mean that companies advertise. I mean that if you are a international global country, you are going to spend the majority of your ad spend here in the US because you are going to get the biggest return on that investment.
Oh, for sure.
So companies are much more willing to spend tens of millions of dollars here in the US because if they spent the same amount of money elsewhere, they're not going to get the response. And so it kind of becomes like, I hate to say it, but Americans are almost like brainwashed to marketing. We don't even recognize that it is marketing. It's consumerism at its finest. Like, we are just like shiny object to shiny object. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, that's new. I've got to have it. Ooh, that's new. No, I got to have that and that. Oh, let's get a third just to round it out. It's like we overconsume so much compared to everywhere else in the world. And so it's kind of humorous that that all these boycotts are taking place. But did nobody like look it up? These boycotts do nothing, literally do nothing.
So kind of, but like Target has actually seen like a decrease, like a fairly substantial decrease in sales. I can't
Which
remember
boycott though? Was it the one against the rainbow?
Everybody's boycotting everything, or they're just boycotting spending money.
But that's another question. Are people actually boycotting or are they just not spending because they don't have it?
No, I mean, that's an incredibly valid question.
Yeah. So let us know down below. A, did you see this viral Coca-Cola video? Are you currently boycotting Coca-Cola for whatever reason you'd like? Let us know what the reason is. I'd really be curious to know.